We've got 6 people here joining up already, which is good. And we're waiting on Tami, which will be here in just a few seconds. Let me just see what we've got for some questions. Okay, so we want to make this one about, it's Mother's Day. We want to make this one about mothers. So those of you out there who are mothers, who have unappreciative children, we understand the things, the sacrifices that you make for your kids. And we thank all the mothers out there because you are the backbone of making this world work, absolutely the backbone. And it's sometimes I know it feels like a labor of love, but at the same time, I know that you all love your kids. And you can see over here, there's an incubator off to my right. And we had a litter today, Mother's Day. And so I thought it would be fitting that Tami shows you a puppy from that litter as opposed to me showing you. So when she gets here, we'll handle that. But we'd like to make this session about the few days prior to the whelp and the few days post-whelp. So that's what we'd like to make these topics about. Of course, we'll answer your other questions as well, but we're going to give you preference to those ones as well. And we've got some, Debbie O has joined us. She says, congratulations. Thank you very much. Michelle Primafiore says, congratulations. And we thank you too with a big heart. And so those of you who are joining up, of course, it's a little early to get, well, 5 people give us thumbs up already. So we appreciate that. So if you think this is going to be good stuff, be premature and give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. Angela Blythe says, congratulations and happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Royal Bulldogs of Canada says, congratulations. So I'm going to give you a little backstory on this. So we thought we'd survive with Kit until sometime later on today. Well, it turned out that last night at around midnight, she was really starting to pant like crazy. And her temperature had dropped a few hours before that to 98.5. And normally, that means you've got 24 hours. We have puppies. But, you know, it was kind of touch and go on this. Her progesterone level wasn't down to 3 yet, but it was getting close. But the problem here is that, you know, you get worried about somebody, your vet, answering the phones, you know, after midnight. It turns out we've used Dr. Masumik, Dr. James Masumik in Kingfisher, Oklahoma. And and also he's got another vet there, Dr. Skinner. And they answer their phones even at wee hours of the morning, provided that you've let them know ahead of time that you're having a C-section and about what the approximate time range is. So we did talk to Dr. Skinner and Dr. Matusik a couple of times about when we thought we were ready for this. We thought we could push it off to Sunday morning. Well, that was wrong. So we ended up getting there about 1 o'clock this morning. And we had a C-section done that took us till about 3, about 2 hours. And we had 4 healthy puppies. So that's really good. 2 boys and 2 girls. So, yeah. So, you know, a lot of this is about, I mean, you got this problem where you don't want to take puppies early. That is a very bad day. You take puppies, you know, over 2 days early, and you'll likely lose part or all the litter. Their lungs have not developed the right surfactant to be able to make the transition from being in amniotic fluid in mum to breathing the air outside. You think those puppies would get in trouble immediately, but they don't. They get in trouble over the next 2 days, 48 to 72 hours, you start losing puppies. And, you know, it's a really bad situation. So we didn't want to take puppies early. On the other hand, you don't want to take puppies late, where you wake up in the middle of the night and the dog's the obvious labor and getting a puppy stuck and nobody will answer the phone. That's a horrible situation. So you know, this is all about having good vets, more than one, who you've worked with before, who will take your phone calls. And in this case, like Wheatland Veterinary Clinic, show up at 1 o'clock in the morning to take care of our needs with Kit, which is, and I mean, they show up all, you know, bushy-tailed and starry-eyed and just ready to get to work, and just super nice people. I mean, you know, great outcome. You get 2 vets for the price of 1, and they know their stuff, and good stuff anyway. So Sandra Rayton says, hello from Oklahoma City. Well, that's where we are. We're actually north of Oklahoma City in Edmond. So Sandra, good to see you too. So if anybody's got some questions that pertain to the whelp process, what you do a few days beforehand, getting ready for whelp, what you need to have ready for whelp, what your setup needs to be, how you handle these puppies, what you need to do for the first couple of days. Those are the kind of questions we'd really like to answer on this one. So I'm going to start off by, what do we do to get Kit, our girl who had these puppies this morning, what do we do to get her ready? Well, the first thing is that we'd already done a pregnancy test at day 30. So we knew that she was pregnant. The second thing is that we could see her starting to get bigger. She historically has 3 puppies. She's had 2 litters before. This is her 3rd and last litter. She had 4 puppies this time. Not huge litter, wonderful mum. But we knew she's pregnant. So we also knew that since she was starting to plump up nicely, and we did a single AI, we did a little bit late on about a 25, that we knew that we got our timing right. Decent litter, one-time AI, roll forward 61 days, brought us till today, the 12th. And that is, in fact, when she did have puppies. So what do we do beforehand? Well, besides that pregnancy test, relaxing pregnancy test, which you can, by the way, Cody does have those at My Breeder Supply. I think it's like $72 for 5 tests. You can run a test in a few minutes and get results. I've never had a false positive. In this situation here, we used a dog, one of our new boys, Gobstopper, who's a Willy Wonka son, and he's just literally starting his career. So we were a little bit concerned about whether we get a litter from this because his semen count was a bit low. Well, lo and behold, we got it done, had a litter. So what do? 10 days prior to C-section, we gave Kit 3 days of safeguard. So that's on the 10th day, the 9th day, and the 8th day. We gave her, she weighs 20 pounds, actually weighs about 17 pounds. We gave her about 4 mils of safeguard 3 days in a row. Why do we do that? Just to knock out any intestinal parasites that might be there. You've got to remember that, although your dog doesn't show any signs of intestinal parasites, she's probably still got a few inside her. And those can get passed over through the milk to the puppies. The puppies then can develop parasites later on. So we always worm 3 days, day 10, 9, and 8. And we then do the same thing on 7 days after birth. We give her again safeguard, panicure, fenbendazole, all the same thing. Day 7, day 8, and day 9, 3 days again. And it just helps knock out the stuff. And I had somebody yesterday who said, "Oh, I didn't do that. I'm worried. Am I too late?" And the answer is, don't get worried. This is not something that you absolutely have to do, but it's something we recommend. And if you're a bit late and you've got 4 days to go ahead and do it. Not going to do any harm. It's just you'd like to have it far enough in the front so you can knock out any parasites before the puppies are born. Okay. So let's have a look here. Sandra from Ratton, who's from Oklahoma City, says, "Thank you so much for the shout out. Actually, I raised poodles and cavapoos. I learned color traits from your YouTube video. So grateful for the years of information we've learned from you." Well, hey, you're welcome. Good. Okay. And then Sorrow, who just joined us, said, "Okay, so 10 days before labor and a week after labor." Got it. Yes. It's a good idea. So then the other thing about this is we're talking about what do you do before and after whelp. Well, before whelp, we've been giving our girl 5 milligram tablet of folic acid every day. From when we bred her to the day that she gave birth, every day, 1 5 milligram tablet. So people will ask about where do you get that? Well, Cody sells those on My Breeder Supply. The problem you've got here is if you go buy products like Oxy Mama, they don't have much folic acid in them. They have about 800 micrograms. That's 0.8 of a gram. You need 5 grams. You need like 8 times that amount. So we recommend giving a quality multivitamin, and along with that, going and getting folic acid and giving that daily. And then we switched her food to a puppy diet, high protein. We did that about a week after we AI'd her. We switched it over to a high protein diet. And then this last week, we switched her over to Biljac, BIL-JAC, which is in the frozen section of Walmart. It's a moist food. Here comes Tami. And we did that because we want to keep some weight on her. And typically, dogs just start losing their appetite the last few days before whelp because they get so big. And I mean, you know, you're not going to see Kit today because she's there with the babies. But, you know, she's missing a baby. Kit's back there. So, Tami, why don't you... I'm going to show these. Why don't you come over here and I'll grab you that?
No, you're not going to grab me that.
Okay. Well, I was going to show them the incubator, but that's fine. Okay, that's fine. All right, here we go. So 4 puppies, 2 boys, 2 girls. And I got some rags in there, Tami. I got a bottle here as well. But I was going to bottle feed this puppy as it was. So this is, by the way, is our incubator. And you can see, you may not be able to see it there, but it's set to about 40 degrees. I just unplugged it, probably I didn't. So our puppies go to and from the vet in the incubator.
Making it.
The incubator stays plugged in for the next 3 weeks in case we have a puppy that gets sick or frail, so we can put it in there.
Okay, there's one of them. And during the rest of the video, I'll bring each individual one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Right.
make it more exciting.
So let's lay this down a little bit. There we go.
Look at that. Little...
So Mum is a Urajiro. He does have some signs of a Urajiro. Well, no, it's the other one that does.
No,
Not him.
no.
Okay.
I'm going to fix your camera because you didn't want the... Oh, I left my camera in the back.
Lens in the front, Tami. Right there.
Oh.
Sorry, right there. You're going to get the smudges off the lens. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, there we go. All right.
Fuzzy.
Be good. All right.
Okay.
That nice
I
flat little face
yeah,
there.
Kit's not liking this.
I know. So Kit is the mama. She's has been historically been a great mother, and it's no different this time. She's really counting down to the task. Anyway, right. Let's see. We've got some questions coming up. Let's see if we can answer some of these questions here. Sandra Ratton, please repeat your deworm regime. Caught at the end of it. Okay. So deworm mum, 10 days before whelp for 3 days with safeguard. Deworm mum for 3 days after whelp, starting at day 7. Deworm puppies starting at day 2 weeks with parental paramate or Nemex 2. So you hold that puppy. I got to fix Tami so she can see what's going on. Okay. Next question.
Pretty. Oh, yeah.
Michelle Prima Fiore says, beautiful mask. Yes.
Yes.
So tell us about this. These dogs are kind of standard colors, but they carry. Yes.
Yes. All these babies carry Fluffy, carry Testable, they carry Blue, and they carry Cocoa. So, and somebody's going to get Cream in this litter
And
too.
10 points.
Oh, and they have 10 points, yes.
And some of them carry Cream.
So they're all ATA-Ys or ATA-T. So I don't think we have an ATA-T, but I think they may be all ATA-Ys.
I know, it's surprising. You figured half of them would be AT-ATs, but I mean, it's kind of the luck of the draw on this stuff too.
Look at the little natural rope already.
Nice big nares. Look at those nares.
Nice, oh yeah, nice nares.
Nice. So tell us about Daddy.
Beautiful.
Tell us about Daddy.
Okay, Daddy is an AT-AT full visual Fluffy. He is a new shade Isabella, and he is a proven working boy now, Mr. Studman. He's walking with a big chest sticking out today. And anyway, so I don't know if James told you, but these babies came at 1:30 this morning.
I did.
Yeah, just in time for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty babies.
So Dana Hall says our Walmart doesn't sell Billjack. Yeah. So if you live west of the Rockies, you will not find Billjack. If you live Denver in this direction, you should find Billjack, and it's in the frozen section with the regular foods and things like pizza at Walmart. It can be difficult to find. It's in an orange bag with red writing on it. It's a 5-pound bag. This last one I got cost me a little over $10. And it's not the only food to feed. I mean, if you can't get Billjack, it's not the end of the world. The reason that we like Billjack is that mums who have not been eating very well tend to wolf that stuff down. So what we'll do is start feeding Billjack a week prior to whelp, and then we will, day of whelp, more Billjack with a dollop of cottage cheese on top of it to help with calcium a little bit. But I don't know how much they absorb from Nutri-Cal and things like this. Are probably a lot better source of calcium than cottage cheese is. But do I mean Nutri-Cal? I think I do. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So here's your phone. Here's your phone. Here's your microphone.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, am I on? Yes.
So Elisa Gonzalez has joined us. Hey, Elisa. She says, happy Mother's Day, Tami.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. You know what it's like being a mama.
We're proud of our mamas.
Kit's mama, and we're a mama. And
yeah, if it wasn't for our mamas, we wouldn't be here. And I had a great mama. You've got a great mama.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Sora says, tiny widdly paws and nice structure, little pups. So Mama is a 17-pound dog. Gobstopper is around 20. So we'd expect these dogs to range in those kind of sizes. There is one tiny little girl in there who weighs like 6.5 ounces. So we're kind of watching her pretty carefully because.
And remember, they always lose a ½ ounce when you bring them home that next day. And then they'll gain that ½ ounce back. And then hopefully they gain ½ ounce every day after that.
So Michelle Primo Fiore says, James, can you tell us how you transport puppies home after coming from delivery? Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
That nice incubator box that we have.
So this is a product that we sell, and it is a temperature-controlled incubator. And the great thing about this is it runs off both 110, 220, or 12 volts, which means
and
that
it comes with those.
Comes with all the adapters.
Yeah, all the adapters.
You don't have to ask for anything special. You can take this to Europe.
And it works over in the UK.
Yep. So I'm going to open this thing up.
Hope you cleaned it.
Well,
what you call clean.
So
oh my goodness, we got milk in there.
Yeah. So I leave the milk bottle in there because it keeps it nice and warm. But it's hard to see here, but there's a little light down over there.
Yeah, there's
so nighttime it lights
right there.
up.
It's a little light.
There
it is.
There is nothing. There's no openings in this anywhere, which means that you can put bleach in this to clean it up, which makes it this is important because almost every incubator I've ever seen has got fans and grates and grills and filters. None of that here. So the heat comes up from the floor. It does not dry the air out, so it doesn't dry puppies out. And it's solid state. There are no. That's the only one that I know of that doesn't have any moving parts. You can drop this thing and it won't kill it. It doesn't have light bulbs. It doesn't have fans.
The box.
It literally just it's like a Timex. Give it a lick and it keeps on ticking. And we swear by this. So what does this do for you? Well, the first thing, of course, is it lets you bring your puppies home safely from a C-section. And we've had up to 10 Frenchies, newborn Frenchies inside this. We do sell a larger one for people who've got bigger dogs.
And when you have it plugged in at your house, it's pennies to run this. So we leave it plugged in for 3 weeks after the puppies are home.
And here's the other thing about this. Out here, C-sections aren't that expensive. I mean, $800 to $1,000, $650 to $1,000, depending on.
Emergency's a little bit higher.
Emergency's going to be a little bit higher.
Which we had that.
Yes. But if you're in something like New York, you can spend $6,000 to $8,000 on the C-section. If you've got this traveling incubator, now you can travel 2-3 hours.
If you find that correct veterinarian you're wanting to use, is it a cheaper buy, but has done several
find a good
C-sections on snub-nosed dogs?
I don't think that price has got anything to do with the quality of service on C-sections. I think that experience does. But the point here is I've had customers who buy this, they then travel 4 hours, stay in a motel with their dog, get a C-section done when it's ready, and then travel home and save themselves thousands of dollars.
Oh, and then if you got a puppy that gets cold, pushed away from the rest of them and gets cold, and that's what'll kill a newborn puppy is getting cold. You put that puppy in this incubator box, get its little body all warmed up before you ever put milk to that baby, if it needs to be tube fed. And it is a lifesaver in more ways than one. You just feel good that you have it in your home, that it's there for just in case for that emergency.
Okay, now we're going to get on with questions. The Kitchen Chicks Frams, who's joined us, says, hello, I'm new here. I've had a mother that is not producing enough milk to feed the 1.5-week puppy. She had 7 puppies, 3 have died. Okay, so what do you do here?
Well, if you're lucky, you already have another mama that's got babies on her.
So that'd be one solution.
That'd be one solution.
Second
that
solution
you
is
can put them on her.
You've got to feed puppies, right? If mummy doesn't have enough milk, you can give her fenugreek seed. That can help bring milk in. If she didn't have an oxytocin shot, that could have been given, but you're too late to do an oxytocin shot after a couple of days. You want to say something?
Yeah. If you do have a mama dog on standby that does have a litter of puppies, make sure you put the scent of the smell on the other puppies from that one litter that you're going to put them onto. And
make sure
gradually, slowly, make sure she accepts those babies. Right. Like rub a rag or take another puppy and rub it on that other puppy and do the switch over.
So the things that you absolutely should be doing, all of you, of course, is to weigh your puppies daily. Make sure they're gaining ½ an ounce. They're not gaining that they'll lose ½ an ounce over the first 24 hours. They should gain thereafter. they're not gaining that, then you have to worry about, does this puppy have a problem? If they're all not gaining it, you have to worry about mum's milk supply. What do? You supplement with bottle, goat's milk. I leave this in the incubator so it stays nice and warm.
You can buy the store that's already mixed up.
Esplac, same thing. Yep. You can buy whole goat's milk at Walmart, buy the powder, right? So you should have two things: this, which is a 0 to 3 month old silicone nipple for human, and a feeding tube. Because if puppies won't feed off this,
where can they get a feeding tube?
Well, My British Supply.
Yep.
The problem you have here is you want to get like a number 5 or number 7 French tube.
We sell those.
We do sell those. We sell a whole kit actually.
On mybreedersupply.com.
You'll call your vet up and they won't have it. Most vets don't carry feeding tubes, which is just basic, cheap, basic stuff. But you've got, if you've got a mum that's not producing milk, you've got babies that aren't feeding. If you don't do something about it, you will lose puppies. There's no two ifs, ands, or buts about that. So you've got to be ready for this. So why do I have this bottle out here? Because we have one puppy in here who was born as a 6.5 ounce puppy. She's down to 6 ounces today. She's getting some supplemental milk to help her along because we don't want to get her. That 5 ounce mark is a dangerous place to be. Dangerous place. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to add to that, Tami?
No.
Sorrow says cottage cheese help mothers lactate. Yep, you bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's what we gave Kit today, with some cottage cheese.
Yes.
And you only want to do that just for a few days because you'll notice that the puppy's little poop is going to smell a lot different and a little rich.
And mum gets diarrhea if you get too much.
Yeah.
It'd be a mess in the cage.
4 or 5 days is good. That gets her along.
Does Kit poop?
Continue giving vitamins also.
Does Kit poop in the cage?
No.
She doesn't. We're lucky. Makes it easy.
She'll
hold it till the sun comes up. I mean, if you'll pee in there, we put a pee pad in, so that soaks it up.
Somebody said the other day they gave their females Tums, and it's got calcium in it.
Right.
So it makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
But do the cottage cheese for sure.
Yeah, I think like Citracal is something that's more readily absorbed.
What about yogurt?
Well, I think these things have a certain amount of calcium in them, but the problem here is they don't get absorbed very well, so they can just cause diarrhea.
And you want to give it to the mamas after they've had puppies.
Not before.
You don't want to do it before. You give too much calcium.
You can mess up the calcium cycle and cause eclampsia. If you've got a small dog like Chihuahuas, they can have problems with low calcium and they'll start wigging out on you. They'll maybe go into a coma.
That's where you need the honey close by.
Yeah, so be careful about this. If you get a dog that starts to show signs of eclampsia, you probably need to go have a blood test done because it may need an IV of the correct amount of calcium to correct that. They can get in trouble.
GNC Massive says, hello from Illinois.
All right. Now, you're getting ahead of yourself here, Tami.
Oh, am I? Sorry. Sorry.
So Andrea Tapia has a good one here. I have a singleton up this coming week. Any advice? Yes, we do have some advice to you. So here's the thing about this. Why do you have a singleton puppy? Tami?
Oh.
Why does she have a singleton puppy?
Oh, I was looking at the deal. You bred too early, is it?
Probably, yes. You didn't breed right. What happened is almost certainly you bred early. And because of that, so you've got to remember here that the day of whelp is all to do with the ovulation and nothing to do with when you bred the dog. When you bred the dog, it affects litter size. If you bred it early or late, you get a small litter, in your case, a single puppy. So now the problem is because we know that you didn't breed right, that 61 days from breed date is wrong. And it's almost certainly going to be longer than that. And so the temptation here is to take puppies at day 61 and really get in trouble with this. So you've really got to pay attention to.
How many phone calls have we gotten here lately that said, well, my vet said, is it okay, day 59 or day 60?
It's almost there.
It's like, no.
It's almost there.
Don't make it convenient for your vet.
Right. Yep.
It's your female that tells you when you're going to have babies.
So what do you do? So tell me, what do you do to make sure you're in the right place? So you've got this a tentative date. You say, oh, I think it's going to have puppies today, but it's not happening.
Well, a week before you start doing the temperature check.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Once the temperature drops to 99, you do it twice a day.
What do you mean by, you mean 99 something?
Yeah, 99.2, 99.9. When you do that.
In the 99s.
In the 99s. Right. Start taking the temperature twice a day. Once that she drops to 98, within 24 hours,
98.9.
Right.
Low 99.0. Typically puppies in 24 hours.
Progesterone testing.
What did Kit do yesterday?
She went up and down.
She was at 100. She was at 99.3. She zoomed up to 100 point something. Then she dropped down to 99.2.
And then that evening, at 4 o'clock that evening yesterday.
She was at
98.8.
yes.
So we thought 24
So
hours.
we think 24 hours will be good till tomorrow. Well, we
Shaking.
were good till tomorrow, but just only by midnight. So the point here, and then the last thing here is if you're not sure, you do a progesterone test.
7 hours later, she
make
tells
sure
us
with a singleton puppy 3.5 or less, you're in the right place. But
panting,
yes,
nesting, flipping that food bowl, wanting that food out of there,
vomiting,
not even eating it out of your hand.
Yep.
If they vomit, you need to go ahead and go on to the vet. It's just a hands down that this dog's fixing to have babies.
See if you agree with Sandra Ratton's comment, talking about her incubator. Best invention ever. Everybody that raises puppies should own one.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It's a peace of mind.
Hey, if you use one of Cody's stud dogs and you pay off the stud fee within 50 days of doing the AI, he will send you a free incubator. That's worth $300.
Or a heated whelping system.
Or a heated whelping kit. Yeah. Right.
Worth it. But yeah, that heated incubator, the traveling incubator, the heated whelping system. I don't know. They're just lifesavers in more than one. You, in your mind up here, the puppies, you save those puppies right and left. You don't let mama dog down from losing a puppy. Right. So it's great.
We've got 14 thumbs up. It's a small thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Give us some thumbs up. It's Mother's Day. We deserve some. Tammy deserves some thumbs up. It's Mother's Day. Yeah. So Angela Blythe says, I use a miracle nipple and a syringe, and I know a lot of you use that. I'm not a huge fan of that. Here's the reason why. If you've got a puppy that won't nurse, I get worried first about aspiration pneumonia, because if you put it in the mouth, it can end up in the lungs. It's not that that's going to happen every time, but there's a possibility. The second thing is...
You have a video on how to do that.
I've got a number of videos on. The thing about a feeding tube, people get scared. They think, oh, I can't do this. I'll hurt my puppy. Never had that happen. But the point here is you can know exactly how much milk you're putting in the puppy, and you can do it in less than a minute. I mean, if I've got
within seconds,
really, if I've got a mum that's got milk problems, and I've got to get up every 3 hours to feed puppies, and it's going to take me with a bottle
2 hours,
10 minutes, 15 minutes a puppy, and I've got 6 puppies, that's an hour and a half.
The bottle takes forever, and you're not really knowing exactly how much, because you're looking at it all the time to see how much.
Syringe in the mouth, press the syringe, done. Back into that puppy goes back with the incubator or back with mum or wherever. It is so quick, so reliable. To me, it doesn't make any sense to do it any other way. But you do have to have the right kit to do this. And like anything else, it seems a bit scary. I remember the first time I did it, I was worried about it.
Always check the temp of the milk, too, before you ever give a puppy milk, just like a baby. Want to make sure that milk's not too hot.
Kitchen Chicks Farms about the puppies that mum doesn't have milk. She says that you don't have a second mum, and these were my neighbour's dogs. They had puppies at home. Well, you're just going to have to start feeding them with a bottle or two. If they'll take a bottle, and you want to take the time to use a bottle. Otherwise,
how many puppies? He said he lost 3 out of 7.
Yeah, it's got 4 left. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sora says, "Bless this channel, giving free knowledge for other breeders." That. Yeah, you're welcome. Right. M runs is not enough calcium. I'm not sure what we mean by that. Tom's help for labor. Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, well, so GNC Master
I love this stuff because we learn stuff too. So, and you're teaching other people also.
So GNC Master says we've given ice cream too. And look, here's the deal with ice cream. I'm guessing that your dog will love the ice cream. You just got to be careful not to feed too much.
You can't let James feed your dog ice cream, because James will end up eating it before the puppy does. Or the dog does.
But it's all about, a lot of this is about getting nutrition into your dog. And when they won't eat anything and they'll eat ice cream, crap, ice cream it is. And ice cream's obviously got some calcium in it. That's not a bad thing as well. So, yes. And he also mentions...
Whipping cream would be great.
Well, the only thing about whipping cream is there's almost no carbs in whipping cream.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So milk does have carbs. Whipping cream has got no carbs in it at all. So it's not a very good source of anything for a dog, unfortunately. Just Brian's got our incubator and likes it. Thank you. Elisa Gonzalez has joined us, and she says our fluffy Frenchie baby Kira is finally in heat. Oh, Cody set us up with one of your studs to help us breed our Kira. Thank you. We're so excited. Well, congratulations. You're in good hands with Cody. Cody knows what he's doing. You get Cody, you get me, you get Tammy. We're all here not to just send some semen out, but the whole journey. This is about the pregnancy, timing the C-section, issues with puppies, issues with mum, ideas about how to market puppies, all of those things. And when you use one of Cody's dogs, you get future half-price breedings for the life of those female puppies that you produce, for their life. You can either keep that puppy and take the benefit of it, or if you sell that puppy, then the new adopted family gets the benefit of that. And that will help you sell puppies for, easier to sell them because we've got good pedigree. All right. Oh, well, there's one there. VTK Bullies. How can I sell my puppies? Having a little trouble. So, Tami, why don't you talk about what you do to sell puppies?
Well, when you're usually having a little bit of trouble is you didn't advertise early enough, maybe.
So when do you start advertising?
I start advertising the day they're born.
Today, just did it.
I did it today.
That's right.
And I'll do it every couple of days.
How do you
I have my whelper also. She's good about doing it. You've got to be on the ball with it, because if not, you're going to be having little puppies that are around for 16 weeks.
Yeah, you say you're whelp. Of course, these puppies are being whelped in the house by us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So Tami's saying start early, and that is, remember that people who are looking for a puppy, they want a puppy typically that they can start raising as soon as they can in the house. They don't want a 16-week-old dog. So if the dog gets to be 16 weeks old, you've lost probably half your market to potentially adopt this puppy. So that makes a huge impact. Second thing is, where and how do you advertise puppies? What do you do?
Well, you've got good old Facebook, and
Tell us about Facebook.
Whatever town you're in, you've got Frenchies of Illinois, Frenchies of Oklahoma, and then there's other groups that you can hit on and advertise. But you've got to make sure you read their rules to see what they say about how you advertise. There's some people that don't want you saying anything, just putting the picture up there and the DNA, and that's it.
I think Facebook's general feeling is that you don't sell puppies on Facebook, and so you've got to be a little bit nefarious about this.
Put the money
You
amount.
say, look, here's my beautiful puppies. Then you can direct them to a place where they can call you or go to a web page to get more information. I don't think you want to say puppy for sale, X number of dollars on Facebook. I think that'll get you banned. All right.
Go all the way around.
YouTube, what we're doing here is a great place. So what we do is we do a video of our puppies. In the family, if you raise them in a family, you've got kids playing with them, that is the best background to take pictures. Backgrounds that are
hopefully they have a family life when they're being raised up.
Hopefully we're talking to people who do it, like-minded people who want to raise healthy puppies in a family environment. If that's what you're doing, show it. Unclutter the area that you're doing videos of.
Pay attention to your background.
Here's your background.
Always.
Take a video with your iPhone. You can upload that to YouTube. It's free. That gives you some exposure. And you can take those videos and you can freeze frame them and take individual shots, which is a wonderful way to get photographs. It's very hard to take good photographs of puppies because they're always...
You can take 100 pictures to get that one picture that's perfect.
Probably about the right ratio.
James and I would be right at a divorce because I'm telling you, it's work.
Nowadays, we take
It's still work with videos, but not like with individual pictures.
We take a 5-minute video. We edit it on our iPhone. I use iMovie, which is an app that costs maybe $5. Own it for life. You can freeze frame and get pictures out of it. You can dump it onto YouTube. You can use that link to go to Facebook or other social media. I mean, that is that. And then we've got a course on this, by the way, too. If you go to breeder101.com, we've got a whole course on the secrets of selling puppies, and there's about 20 hours worth of detailed information about all the things that you should be doing, because that's only one small part of the whole thing. There's contracts and legal issues and flying dogs and getting scammed and just a ton of stuff here that we've learned in the last 35 years. Okay.
V paid 247 says they've got a litter on the way.
Oh yeah. Dana Hall, two newborn puppies, 1 mil per ounce or less. No, you got it exactly right. It's 1 mil per ounce. So 10 ounce puppy gets 10 mils every 3 hours. Start smaller to start with, just to make sure it can handle it. And if it's been feeding off mum as well, be careful. If it's got a big bloated tummy, it doesn't need to be fed with a tube. If its tummy sunk in, you can give the whole amount. You can give quite a bit more than that typically before you have problems. But just you don't want to, when you do this the first time, a little bit less than that, push this plunger slowly. You get any milk coming out of the mouth or the nose, stop immediately. You've given them enough. And keep track of that. Okay. If you're feeding with a bottle, you can always make a little mark on the bottle.
You're fine.
And see how much they've drunk. Most bottles are in ounces. 1 ounce is 28 cc's, 28 mils.
It's that time again. Oh, Mama's having a fit again.
Oh, there's another one?
Here's our little bitty girl.
She's a tiny little thing.
She's tiny. Look at that sabling. Isn't she beautiful?
You can't tell the size of her unless you see her against the other puppies, but she's about 2/3 the length.
Yeah.
Nice open nose. Nice big open nose.
Yeah.
You can't really see it. She's got a long nose, but she doesn't.
Look at that sabling. She's just, her coat's
a wriggly little thing.
Yes, she is. She's strong.
Very wriggly.
She's strong. Oh, say, I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl. Yes, ma'am. Oh, they're so precious. So there you go. I've got 2 more to show. Say bye, everybody.
Kitchen Chick says, I didn't hear what milk to give. And she said, did I hear carnation milk? Absolutely not.
No.
They can't digest it very well. They'll get diarrhea. Goat's milk. So the source of goat's milk will be powdered goat's milk.
Had the lever.
We like Meinberg. Any powdered goat's milk. Espelak, buy that at Pet Ed. That is a powdered goat's milk. It's supposed to got colostrum in it. It's really the same thing. Whole goat's milk. Buy that at where the creamer is in your local Publix, Giant Eagle, Walmart. You'll probably find that there. Then you'll almost always find condensed canned goat's milk in the baking section. If you're using that, you mix it 50-50 with water. Sora says, I'm not sure what's meant by this. Different sized puppies is not enough concentration in the blood. More line breeding or inbreeding is my thinking. Well, we're not big into line breeding or inbreeding. People who are in the show ring do that for a reason. We're not in the show ring. So the thing about not line breeding, not inbreeding, is you give it the biggest, widest genetic diversity. And genetic diversity is the secret to not having nasty problems with recessive genes matching up. So it's not to say that if you just do regular breeding, you'll avoid this, but if you do line or inbreeding, you substantially increase your chances of getting some nasty double recessive genes coming into play.
Did you read Veronica's deal about, is it normal for 4-day-old puppies to cry a bit more than usual?
Well, no.
Not really.
No. So what do you
Usually,
think's going on?
if they're nice and warm and their tummies are full of milk, they're happy and they don't make a sound. If they're crying, then they either are cold or they're hungry. So be checking mama's milk.
Or they may have a tummy upset.
Yeah.
It's
Depending
rare
on what
at that
mama
age.
eats sometimes can upset their tummies.
Right.
Well, can upset their tummies. So, but those are the things that you look for. That.
How do you tell if a puppy's warm enough?
Oh, well, you'll say stick the finger down the mouth and see how warm it is. But you can also tell on the outside too. But
this is what I like about the finger test. When you put your finger in a puppy's mouth, your finger's warm, the puppy's mouth is warmer. Your finger is dry, it feels moist because the puppy should be moist, not dehydrated. And then finally, you will see the suckle reflex. If a puppy does that, you've probably got a puppy that's in good shape. Puppies that are crying, make sure they're not cold. If they are cold, into an incubator right away. Don't you feed them hot milk, put them into an incubator, warm them up for an hour first, right? And then
if you're thinking about heated pads, those aren't good. That's dry heat. It's got a wire in it. If you have it in the cage, mama's going to find that wire, and she does not want strange objects in her cage.
You're talking about leaving a heated pad in the cage.
Right. Don't do that.
We don't like that either.
So she's liable to chew that wire, and that's not good. But yeah, that heated traveling incubator can't ask for any better. So check that out.
So
make sure that your mama dog has milk.
Talking about us taking pictures, he said, I dread picture time. I think my husband and I be on the verge of divorce.
My whelper says the same thing too.
Yes.
She just
stop doing that.
Yeah.
Just do a video. You will find. So the thing about this is, you're taking a picture, and all of a sudden the dog's ears perk up. You press the button, and that moment there's two things that happen. The dog's head goes sideways. its tongue goes out, its ears go flat.
Or it moved, and
it
it's got a
moved.
fuzzy face. Yeah.
You just
yeah.
can't hardly get
yeah.
it done. But if you had a video of that, you could scroll through the video, stop it at the right moment, do a screenshot, you've got yourself a picture.
Remember, doing a video, do it at the puppy's eye level. Don't do it from above or up. You can do a back shot, of course, but don't do it from standing far away up above. Get up close. Get up close and personal, right there in their little face.
GNC Master says the course is well worth the money. Well, thank you for joining our courses. Breeder101.com. There's like 6 courses there now. They cost about the same as a vet visit. You own them forever. That you don't have to download anything. They're streaming. So you can watch them while you're drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. It keeps track of what courses you've watched. You can watch them over and over again. I think you'll find it really helpful. And then there's a place there that you can ask a question of me and I'll respond to it too. So you get me kind of as a mentor. All right. So this is Apex. God name is Killer. Thanks for joining us. My 5-day-old puppy.
Killer, not killer.
Killer, yes, has an issue with his bum because Mum isn't cleaning his bum. It's very noticeably irritated. He whines when pooing, and it looks enlarged. What should I do? You're up, Tami.
Well, a warm, moist rag, soft one. If you're using paper towels, warm, wet, that's soft also. If it's sore, then I would put a little bit of Neosporin on the back end.
Absolutely.
If anybody has any better idea, let us know.
So if Mum's not cleaning puppies, they can get caked up, and that cake up can then get them impacted. They can then get constipated.
Sometimes you have to just go to the sink. Remember, test that water. Make sure it's not hot. Warm water running on its little bottom. It'll be okay.
Yes.
And it'll come off faster.
Get that crust off there, and it gets Neosporin on. And if you've got,
and it'll be a little sore. If you've got probably bleed a little bit.
Fluffies, and they're a little bit older, they can get long hair back there, and a pair of scissors to trim off the hair around their bum.
Be careful using scissors.
Yes.
Don't get that skin.
But it's still a good idea to kind of basically
some of
shave
it, yeah.
them. Right. Yes, right. And then if Mum's not cleaning them up, tell them about your trick to get Mum to accept puppies.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter on the back end of that little puppy, right at the side of its little bottom, and she'll start licking and cleaning it. So hopefully that works.
Then the puppy poops and pees, and she gets that flavor along with the peanut butter, and it all merges together. And it's like, yeah, this is not too bad. And she then gets in the habit of doing it and prays her like crazy when she does it. Yeah, and so Sandra Ratton says, make sure they're getting stimulated. They're fussy. That's exactly right too. So another cause of this whining could be is they need to be they're kind of backed up.
Yeah, maybe they're
constipated.
Their little bladders full of pee-pee. Mama hadn't been cleaning them up. That's a good one. I didn't remember
So I mean, we'll
one.
pick a puppy up to go bottle feed. The next thing you know, it's peeing on you. So you know that they're
or
not,
the other.
They're not peeing until they're stimulated. So they can get a bladder that gets to be probably not very comfortable.
How are you transporting Mom? I guess going to the
vet. Good question. So come back to that.
James always wants to hold Mom in his lap. You can use a crate to put her in to transport her. If you're talking about going to the vet.
Well, let's talk about that. So yesterday when we went to the vet, I had her in my lap and we were worried about contractions.
Yeah.
So normally we put her in a crate and let her sleep.
Well, there's times where you just held them in your lap.
Yes, but I had her in my lap with a towel underneath me because I knew that she might vomit. I knew that her bladder, the water might break. She might pee, all of those things. Tammy's got a new car. Tammy would skin me if I got that crap on her front seat. So in the back behind Tammy, there is a traveling crate.
Yes.
Didn't use it. When we came home, mums tend to leak a lot of blood. I mean,
make sure you have a towel, pee pads back there to soak that up.
Half a cup of blood. I mean, that's
when you're. I want to say this:
yes.
When you're hauling them in your car, make sure you haul them in the middle or in the front seat. You can put that seat belt around that crate too.
Why do you do that?
Well, in case if you had an accident.
No. Why do you put them in the middle, not in the back?
Well, because the car bounces real bad in the back, and Mama will be getting sick and throwing up, and yeah.
The very end of the car is the place that goes up and down the most. That's the place you really would rather not have the dog.
Yeah,
so
do
the seat
the middle or
behind
the front seat,
or in the front seat, or on the floor. If you
make your husband ride in the back seat. Let him get all bounced around.
Put him on the roof, especially if it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth, Tammy?
Yeah. No kidding.
Yes. Kitchen Chicks Frenchies, please name the condensed milk I'm at the store right now. Mayenberg is the one that I know of. That's the condensed version of it. But look, Anything that says it's goat's milk is goat's milk.
Never ever do whole milk or
Cow's
fat-free
milk.
milk. Yeah,
Cow's
cow's milk.
Cow's
Don't
milk
do
give them
that.
indigestion.
No almond milk.
Yeah, I guess that'll. Yeah, if it's to do with
Just
lactate, I'm
do
not really. But goat's milk is the
goat's
answer,
milk.
right? Yeah. So any flavor, I'd say flavor, but any branded goat's milk, they're all going to be the same. It's like cow's milk. I mean, Tammy likes the Brahms cow's milk, but I mean, I'll drink any milk. I mean, it'll taste delicious to me. So, but the point here is it's milk. It's be cow's milk, goat's milk. Michelle Primafori says, "May and both goat milk." Correct.
John Merlot is having a litter tomorrow.
Well, look
Good
at
luck.
this.
Or Tuesday, he said. Tomorrow or Tuesday.
So Dana Hall says the Manberg is a purple and white can. That's right. It's a white can. And same thing for their square whole milk containers. They're white with purple writing that says Manberg on it. Manberg is very reliable. I think Unimilk might work. I don't know what Unimilk is. Do you know what Unimilk is?
No, I don't know what Unimilk is.
Don't know what Unimilk is. Sorry, can't help you on that. Yep, John Mello's having puppies. Good for you, John. Sony says a 12-ounce bag makes 3 quarts of goat's milk. So the ratio is a tablespoon of goat's milk with 2 ounces of warm water is the mix. And what we do is I typically mix up 1 tablespoon at a time with warm water. And that way I can then put this back into the incubator to keep it warm. And if this is more than 12 hours old, let us throw it out. Start with fresh. But you remember, you want to have mildly warm water.
Always clean that nipple out too, because the milk can get clogged up in there.
And you can use the same bottle for all your. You don't have to have a separate bottle for each puppy. They can all. I'm going to pop this in here now.
And you told them about the silicone nipple, right?
Yes, 0 to 3 month old. It looks huge, but it's not.
Oh, look at some of those mamas' teats.
Look at
Kits are huge.
They're huge.
They get it all in their mouth.
Yes.
It's surprising, but they do.
John Melt says all cream, the creamery. Yeah. So here's the thing about cream that when you say cream, that worries me here. If you go look at carbs on cream, I know about this because I keep myself on a ketone diet. I don't know, what do you call that? Not low carb diet. Anyway, the point here is that cream has got 0 carbs.
Watching his girlish figure.
You don't want 0 carbs because these puppies need sugars and things like that, which is in milk and not in cream. So whole cream, whipping cream would not be, I think, in my list of things to give. I watched so Letty Moore has joined us. Hi, Letty. Give us a. Well, we've got people to give us thumbs up. We've got 21 now. We've got quite a few people watching us. That's all good. All right, Letty says, what does Letty say? Letty says, I watched a video of breeding age, which you mentioned should be after the first heat. What happens if it's at the first heat accidentally? What are the possible consequences? Tammy's looking great. She is looking great. What about me? Am I chopped liver?
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think that's a good question here. So the question is,
if her first heat is when she's a year old, 11 months and 2 weeks, 11 months and 3 weeks, if she's a big girl, pretty mature, go ahead and breed her. If she is an immature dog,
a very small 12-pound, if it's a Frenchie, a 13-pound Frenchie would not breed it.
Yeah, right. But usually your first heat, if they're at that age, you're okay.
How many times?
Any earlier, 10 months, 10 and a half months, don't do it.
Have we ever got in trouble doing this?
Then what?
Breeding a dog at a young age.
Have we done it?
No, we have. Yes, the answer is that I've had customers who've got a situation where they've done what this person's talking about.
Okay.
So this is what typically happens.
I started to say we hadn't.
No, we don't deliberately do this. Yeah. But the point here is that
sometimes accidents happen.
That's right.
And you can't.
You don't go do an abortion. You just get on with it. So the chances are it'll be fine. You may not have the best mother in the world in the first round if she's a young sub-year-old dog.
Especially if she's immature.
And it's quite likely she won't even get pregnant on the first round because first round heats tend to be rather spotty and rather irregular. The engines aren't firing on all 4 cylinders. And so those ones are the harder dogs to get pregnant. So the dogs that are hardest to get pregnant are dogs on their first heat and dogs that are 5 years old. Those are the Frenchies anyway. So, but look, don't get in a panic. Get prepared. You'll probably still be fine. What do you do from this? I think my general advice to myself is it's okay to make mistakes, but don't repeat them. life is full of mistakes. I mean, you learn from mistakes. In fact, they're probably the most useful thing in teaching you what to do next time are mistakes. It's just don't repeat mistakes if you can avoid it. So that was a mistake. Why did it happen? Because you left your dog around when you didn't want to breed it with a dog that was, intact dog, whether it was outside. Look, this is one of the things that people do. They leave a dog out in their fenced backyard. They think, oh, it's completely safe. I've done that forever and ever and ever. The dog goes in heat. It's spilling pheromones out, scent out all over the place. The dog next door goes freaking bananas, digs under the fence and beats your dog, or goes over the top of your fence, or your dog digs out and goes roaming the neighborhood to get bread.
If you can, try to keep that female close by
Keep her in the
when
house.
she's in
Keep her in the house.
Yeah.
Keep her with some panties
Well,
on.
they might have
That's
had
another
her
thing.
in the house and let her out to
Well,
go potty.
yeah,
Go
absolutely.
with her.
Absolutely.
It's
yeah.
2
Right.
weeks. It's 2 weeks to 14 to 16 days.
Spider Cove Corso says, what's better, raw, goat, or
I gotta
powdered?
go check on that baby.
Yeah, bring this baby out here. It's not a baby.
Well,
So
hear
I
it
think
crying.
that you can't do better than raw whole milk. I think whole milk is the best. It's unadulterated, but I mean, I don't think it's that. Look, the goat's milk. I've drunk goat's milk. I've drunk the powdered goat's milk. The powdered goat's milk does not taste as good as the raw or whole goat's milk. So but we use the powder because it's so convenient and so fast. That's why it appears to work just fine. But if you had you can't go wrong with any of these. The one I least like, by the way, is the condensed. It's pretty thick, and you've got to get it diluted down properly. I don't think it really matters.
Show him off. Okay.
It's like saying, which would you survive better on, a Walmart's hamburger or a Whataburger? And the answer is they've both got very similar nutritional benefits. And I don't think fat content may be slightly higher on one than the other. That's not really the underlying reason that one of them is going to work over another one. I think they're all fine.
Oh, goodness sake. Okay, here's a little boy. Look at him. He's a sable as well. Yeah. I say little boy. He's probably our bigger boy. Okay, turn around here. Wiggly,
and Mum
wiggly.
does have a copy of Pied, and that's what you're seeing on the chest there.
Yeah.
None of these dogs are Pied because Dad doesn't have it. But you see that little white splash? See the little white splash on the chest? That's a sure sign probably that we'll find out with the DNA, which we won't get done for about another 10 days.
Color.
But
pretty boy.
Yes, and I'm wondering whether this one's going to be hero because of this white on its cheek.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, isn't he pretty?
So have to be masterless to be a hero.
Sake.
That does have signs of being masterless.
Yeah.
Whereas one of the other ones is so dark. It's
they're so wiggly. It's looking for mama. Sad looking for mama. Look at that natural rope. There's your
Brazard Vera asks a very good question that I haven't been answered before, and I know a little bit about this. I have expired amoxicillin,
it's so pretty.
but the date's expired. Can it still be used?
So,
you went to your doctor and he said, I've got expired amoxicillin, should I use it? They will say, absolutely not. You go to your vet, and look, there's 3 reasons why a vet's going to say don't use the expired drugs. One is because they don't want to get themselves in trouble. They don't want you using a medicine that may not be as effective as it should be. Number 2 is they'd like to sell you the drugs anyway because they make a profit off that, which is absolutely fine. And number 3 is they're covering their butts and they don't want to get sued. So remember, I'm not a vet, but I'm going to give you what I know about this. The first thing is I did see some studies that were done on drugs that were from the Second World War, and that those drugs were way, way, way expired by 30 years. And when they looked at those drugs, they said they were just as effective as when they had been packaged up. So as long as it's been stored correctly in the dark, which I mean it's in a pill container, in a cool area, not out in the sun, that I think that, that these drugs can last a hell of a lot longer than their expiration date. And
I'm a stickler for expiration
dates. Yes, but I'm not.
James isn't, but I am.
I'm not. So, if it's the difference between not having anything or giving something that's out of date, I'd be giving something that's out of date in a heartbeat. Now, look at it. I mean, there's certain things, that are obviously, have a shelf life because they go bad, like milk and things like that. That's a whole different story. I'm not advocating that you use things like that. But dry powders, goat's milk, for instance. I've got some goat's milk that I put up here. That goat's milk is probably over a year old. And what I did was, first thing I did is I smelt it. I took my finger, wetted it, put it into goat's milk, tasted it. And it's like, that tastes like goat's milk. We're using it. And I haven't seen any effects to the dogs.
I don't think it was a year old. because
Well, it may not have been. It may not have been. But the point here is that you
Phoebe
can.
had
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
puppies.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you base your stud fee pricing? So, based on quality of the dog, the pedigree of the dog, the DNA of the dog, past history of the puppies it's produced, that all goes into
And
one
if
big
he's small,
calculation. Yes. So,
confirmation
I think that generally
structure.
you should expect to pay about 10% of an average value of your litter towards a stud fee. So, give you an example. If you bred to a blue Frenchie that could produce blue Frenchies that are these days are worth something around maybe $4,000 a piece, and those you had 5 dogs, that's a $20,000 litter, you should expect to pay something around $2,000 for that stud fee. And so Cody's got dogs that fall in that $1,500 to $2,000 stud fee for the dog. So that sounds about right. No, you might not get any blue dogs, but that doesn't make any difference. The stud is still the stud. Now, some people do base stud fees based on what you're going to produce. If you've got a fluffy and you breed to a fluffy, they might charge you more than if it was a non-fluffy dog. We don't play that game, but that gives you a general
And
idea.
remember, you just pay $500 down. Of course, you got to pay for shipping, and then you can pay the balance off when you're wanting to register the puppies. But remember that if you pay that balance at 50 days well, if the female's at day 50 until day 50, if you pay that stud fee off early, then that's when you get a free heated whelping system or the traveling incubator.
I love all these questions. Everybody's asking questions about whelping, which is wonderful. So here is, I want to say something else about stud fee, by the way, stud service.
And we guarantee too.
If you'd come to us 20 years ago to use one of our studs, we wouldn't have given you very good service. We would have given you stud service, but we would not have given you the same quality stud service we're giving now. Why? Because we know so much more about it.
Yeah.
If your stud owner can't answer some basic questions, you have to ask the question.
And Cody's come into the picture too.
Yeah, so. Am I being a guinea pig? Everybody's got to start somewhere. And so I can tell you, when you first start offering stud service, you aren't going to do as good a job as you will eventually learn how to do. It's all about helping your customers get their timing right, know how to collect samples, know how to analyze it, know how to ship it properly, and not overbooking dogs. That's something that I see. These really high-powered dogs tend to get overbooked. Something that Cody never does. You reserve a dog, nobody else is going to use that dog within 4 days of you needing that dog. All right, so enough of that one. Okay, another good question here.
And we've got so many to choose from too.
Yes.
Different DNAs, whatever you want out of that litter, that's what Cody's going to press for on satisfying you. And he's going to help you decide. And you get to make the decision, though, on which stud.
And we've been in this situation before. You pull from a dog, the semen quality is like, that's not as good as I like. We've got a backup. We've got another dog that's an even more powerful dog. We'll give you for the same price because we want to make sure that we're sending you semen that's going to result in litter. Part of the reason is,
always check it too before it ever leaves our place too, to make sure that it's good. Yes.
All right, here's a good question from Hosan Rodriguez. If I work a full-time job, how long would I have to take off work before they can be alone for an 8-hour shift or eat on their own? I've got some answers. You probably got some different answers. So do you want me to have a stab at this? And and then you can correct me? Or do you want to go okay.
You do it.
So the first thing is, we've got a litter right now. They were born at like 3 o'clock early in the morning.
Well, it was 1:30. We didn't get home until 3:30.
Right. We're not leaving this house for the next 2 days. So, I mean, I went off and got pizza. We didn't go out and eat. I went and got.
I stayed here. I was here.
Is she there looking after the puppies? No, but she is within earshot, so that she can hear if something is awry. That she can say, "Have we had to do anything so far? Nada, zippo. We just take." Well, we have gone in there and checked puppies every few hours because you'll
let mom out to potty, of course.
They might put fresh food.
Feed mama.
Yep, right.
Fresh water.
And then
clean the bedding.
So we've got a camera in there.
That's a given there for.
It's a wireless camera. Puppies and mama together. They're not in an incubator. If the puppies are in an incubator, you cannot leave them for very long. I mean, they need to be fed every 3 to 4 to 5 hours. So you've got a problem. If you've got an 8-hour shift and your puppies are in an incubator, that's not going to work. I mean, you could take them to work with you, I guess. But then
there's been customers of ours that have done that.
But then you break the mother-baby bond.
I know.
But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
right.
If you go to lunch break, you can tend to them that way also. That's why Chanel would do it.
So then at what point would you be happy that we leave the house for 8 hours? If we pushed the
8
temperature
hours?
8 hours on this litter. I've got an answer.
I've never
Here's my
done
answer right
8
here.
hours. Go ahead, give it.
5 days. At 5 days, if it had been plain sailing, I had a camera where I could see what was going on, I would be happy leaving at day 5. Because at that point, they're really getting it.
Just make sure your work understands that you've got this camera, you're watching those puppies.
Yes.
That if you needed to leave, you could leave.
I mean, if you've got a litter of 4 or 5 puppies, they're all the same weight, and they're all eating well, and they're all gaining weight.
May not let
right. But if you've got one weak puppy in there, that's a whole different story. It may be that you've got to stay close to the house or stay at the house until that puppy. So there's no one answer fits all. You've got to be, you got to think about what your circumstances are. But look, a lot of us who are on an 8-hour shift, we can go to work, come home at lunch. They only had 4 hours then. I mean, you could potentially leave a puppy in an incubator for 4 hours.
Yeah, but some people may be clear across,
you've got to
ways
fit it in.
to get home.
You've got to fit in. You've got to be.
You may need a whelper on standby.
Yeah.
On this incubator, you're probably going to notice we didn't have the little vent thing on this.
Yeah,
one.
it's got to have a hole door in it.
James threw that one together and didn't get the vent thing. There is a vent on top of those where it has a vent hole at the top.
Angela Blythe has bred Boston Terriers and just started breeding Frenchies. I bred my first Frenchie today, and I've learned so much from her videos. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We have a great journey.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up.
Okay, Sonia Jones says, my first litter was an accidental breeding on her first heat. Don't recommend it. Ran into issues with the vet by not being able to identify actual breeding date. It all worked out well, but led to some stress. That brings up another great point here. There's nothing like planning to try to relieve some of the stress. Look, yesterday when we had these puppies, I am still mildly stressed anytime we go to the vet until the puppies come out, wondering whether we got our timing right.
Yeah, we were questioning ourselves, even with Kit,
well,
with all she was
when
doing.
We were at the vet, temperature.
From her stressed out.
The vet said, what's the temperature?
101.
Yeah, what's the temperature? You said 98.7.
No, I said 98.4.
Yeah, right, exactly. 94.
Yeah.
And the vet sticks a thermometer and comes up with 100.5.
Yeah.
And it's like, but she was stressed out like friggin' crazy. And I mean, I said, well, look, this is what I said. I'm pretty sure we're in the right place, but it's on me. If this doesn't work out right, you are completely absolved of it. I want these puppies to be taken now. And he agreed with me, and he did it. And he said, yeah, she's got a bit of leakage, and talked about some other things.
And she threw up.
She'd thrown up. And we knew what day she was bred. And she was on stage 61.
Hadn't been eating for 2 days.
So we knew where we were on this. But the point here is that, and I want to say again, these first-time breedings that tend to get prolonged heats. It's unclear exactly what the right day was for breeding. It can be complicated.
The other thing I want to stress too is have a good relationship with your vets. You don't have a good relationship with your vets, you're not going to get anywhere with the vet.
That's vets with a plural.
And we are so blessed with the vets that we have, and the what do you call the other vets that are there?
Vet assistant.
Well, I can't even think of it. But anyway,
technical assistant. That's not quite the right thing. But
But anyway, you got to have that relationship with your vet.
And the office staff too.
Yes. Everybody in that office is bending over backwards for you, especially on emergency service.
If you go in first thing in the morning and you're going to have a C-section at 8 o'clock, go bring a box of donuts with you. Yeah,
you're not the only person coming to them. They've got several other people, so they're making a special spot.
And there's nothing be more stressful than you've got a dog that is in labor and they can't take care of you right now, and you're sitting in a waiting room and it's 2 hours later and the dog's pushing, and you're getting very worried. Most of the time, dogs that go into labor have got some time before they have a puppy, but it can happen in a hurry too. So nothing like
your vets are there to help you. Yes. So
Jessica Barber, good to have you here, Jessica, because I know that name. I have a blue male female with tan points, no brindle or pied. I'm thinking of breeding her to Love My Pup, Shinati. I love Shinati. He is such a small, beautifully structured little dog, and he is a lilac that carries cream and fluffy. Yes, and he's a fluffy carrier. He's a really nice little dog, and he's not an expensive dog to breed against either. Okay. DJ says, I have a girl in heat, disrupted my whole house. They're all fighting.
Oh, that happens sometimes.
It sounds like a girls' college dormitory where you've got these girls pull each other's throats.
Or if you have 3 or 4 daughters, or just 2,
yes.
and they're all
Look,
at the same time.
you
So
can have the mildest, meekest dog that when it's in heat turns into a raging hormone factory.
Tasmanian devil.
Tasmanian devil. And you have to respect that.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that dogs don't get in fights. Look, we don't have problems with this, but we can have problems with a dominant dog that all of a sudden...
Or our males, too.
Our dogs,
When
we've
females
got
are in
4
heat.
females. They go out in the backyard, they play together. They're all together all the time, right? In the morning, they get let out. They get to have some playtime. But they are learning their pecking order.
Mm-hmm.
And so Posh, who is a bigger girl, but one of the younger ones, she tends to muscle in a little bit, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's like a football player. If you watch her playing and we're throwing the ball and she just butts everybody out of her way. And
Now,
it's like, girl.
Kit's out there pregnant.
Oh,
and
Kit
and
couldn't stand
Kit
it.
she just kind of goes away from her. But if other dogs might do something. So just
remember Trixie?
Yes. Yes.
Trixie would come at the rest of the females and stand her ground with her ears up. She wasn't going to hurt anybody. She was just
got to bluff them. And you can have a dog that likes,
could start a fight.
For instance, Kit is kind of my dog, and Kit and I have a kind of a bond together. So Kit comes to me, and so Kit's just such a pacifist. She's not going to start a fight. But the point here is dogs can get jealous.
Well, Sophia, she was like, she didn't want anybody around me coming to play and me throw a toy for him. She was
she was guarding her relationship with you. So and that can get worse.
She was the youngest of the bunch.
That can get worse when a dog's in heat, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
They're funny to watch. They're just like humans. I mean, you know.
Sandra Rett says, I'm a stickler for food expiration, but I'm totally fine using expired medicine. Well, I'm the same way. I mean, for me with the food expiration, it's like milk, I smell it. I mean, remember, a lot of these things, it says goodbye or best if consumed by. That's not really an expiration date. That is a warning that it will not be as fresh after 7.
I don't like getting sick.
Well, I agree with that. Where can I buy amoxicillin? Brazy Vera has joined us, says. Well, thanks for joining us, Brazy. So it used to be that you could buy a number of different antibiotics over the counter that were used for fish, for aquariums. And you've got to hunt. You used to be able to buy it at Walmart in their aquarium section, but you can't do that anymore because the nanny state and brothers watching has clamped down on this stuff. You can still get fish mox, which is amoxicillin, fish pen, which is penicillin, fish flex, which is flaxin. Those are still available, but you have to hunt for them, Google them. I think you'll find most of those things on Chewy that don't require a vet's prescription. If you go to Chewy and you go buy amoxicillin, you're not getting that without approval from your vet. But the stuff that I've got, amoxicillin, fish mox, it came off the same line. I guarantee it. It looks the same. It's got the same numbers on it. Taking it myself. So I think it's absolutely fine.
When COVID was going around and nobody could get out and go anywhere, and I didn't want to go to the office anywhere, and so I'd had a bladder infection.
Yep.
I took fish moxie. Was it that
one? Fish mox, yeah. Yeah.
It worked.
Still alive today. She's got a fin and she's growing some gills, but other than that.
I swim real good.
Ice moving that side of her head. She keeps you
I get hungry for worms every once in a while.
Exactly. Benny Hood says, what makes Sable and what makes a Urajiro? So a Sable is an AYAT dog that does not carry brindle. That's a Sable. As opposed to an AYA dog that doesn't carry brindle, would be a fawn, or an ATAT or an ATA dog that would be a tan-pointed version of that. So then what is a Urajiro? A Urajiro is a fawn.
A cream dog. Well, it carries cream.
It's a masterless dog that is a fawn or sable dog that carries cream and is masterless. So little e, big E, little e, big E, little EM would be masterless. That's with a copy of cream. And it can't be ATAT or ATA, and it can't have brindle.
Okay, does a fawn or sable carry brindle?
No, a dog that would normally be fawn because AY is brindle will not be fawn, it'll be brindle. Brindle overpowers the whole damn lot.
Yeah, but if you have a fawn dog.
Yes. AY dog.
It's not brindle. It's not a brindle.
Yeah.
Can't carry
a
brindle.
visually fawn dog is not brindle. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And sables don't
Yes.
carry brindle.
Yes.
But you know us, none of our dogs, male, our studs or our females,
Yes. But
do
it's
not carry brindle.
But look, it's interesting sometimes because people say I don't have a brindle dog, but it's a merle. You can't tell on a merle. A merle, blue merle dog with
Sometimes
a
you
blue brindle
can.
dog. Yeah, sometimes you can, but mostly you can't. Is the point. If you have a cream dog, you can't tell if there's brindle behind that or not, or if there's tan points or blue or cocoa or anything else. So you can get fooled on this. And Tami will tell you what, Tami, what's the right way to go at this?
DNA.
DNA. And there is
DNA.
a 25% coupon on right now at Animal Genetics. And it's good for the next 10 days. And I think it's, if somebody texts me, I'll give them a code. I forget what it is.
Okay, so business minded wants to know what do you give first means first week a vaccine. I've given 2 weeks, also 3 weeks. Okay, so when you're giving vaccines to puppies, I hope this is what you're talking about, which when you said
Who is this?
2 weeks or 3 weeks, do it every 3 weeks apart. 2 weeks is too early. Like if you do it at 6 weeks, do it at 9 weeks, do it at 12 weeks, do it at 15 weeks. Don't do it every 2 weeks because you'll have to just start it all over again. It won't work.
So I think I didn't hear the whole answer you gave, but I'm going to say something else. To give your first vaccines of 2 or 3 weeks would be too early. No doubt about it. And
3 weeks you can.
Can you? We do it at 6.
No.
We do it at 6.
Wait.
So here's the problem. If you give the vaccine too early.
No, we don't do 6 weeks. We do 6 weeks, 9 weeks,
Yes,
12
let's
weeks,
talk about
every
2 or
3
3
weeks.
Yeah.
He said 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, but okay. So let's just clarify. It could be meaning two things. When do you start and how often do you do it? How often do you do it?
At
They're
6
two different
weeks
things.
old.
Right. So this is the important thing about vaccines. If you start vaccinating too early, mum's antibodies you gave through a milk will effectively stop having a reaction for the vaccine. The vaccine will not be effective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the general feeling is you give the first vaccine sometime between 5 and 7 weeks. And then you back up the next vaccine, typically about 3 weeks after that.
And 3 weeks after that.
If you make it too short, the previous vaccine is not wore off enough. They don't get a substantial reaction to the second vaccine. If you leave it too long, they might have parvo, all the other things.
Yeah.
So, if you went 6 weeks between vaccinations, you can forget all the vaccinations you did. You
start over. Yeah. So you can do it every 4 weeks, but 3 weeks is best. We do ours at 6, 9, 12, and 15. And if you still have the puppies at 15 weeks, you can give the puppies their first or their rabies shot then. But if you're talking about worming, we do worming at 2 weeks and 4 weeks with Nemex 2 or what's the other one called?
A parental Pemac.
This is worming for puppies.
Same thing.
Yeah. So then at 2 and 4 weeks is with the Nemex 2 with worming. And then at 6, 8, and 12, no, 6, 8, 10 is, and then 12 if you still have them, we do it with Safeguard. And you've got to do that 3 days in a row with Safeguard.
That's right. So we're already an hour and 50 minutes in. We normally do an hour. It's Mother's Day, so we can let this thing go long, specifically because we've still got a lot of people viewing, but I want more subscribers. I've got 37. I want some more thumbs up. And if you keep doing that, we're going to keep on going because we've got a lot of questions.
And go to our website.
Okay.
And buy those incubator boxes and their heated whelping system. And we have the oxygen.
So I'm going to answer questions really quickly. Brazavira asked about the 10x Hoek extender that we sell. That is for both using when you're breeding a dog side by side to add more volume to the semen and for shipping. It's a great product. It's actually a bit better than the Canna Plus we used to sell. It's better than 10-day extender. So it's good stuff. So Spider Cove Carosa says, no real signs of labor, not nesting, and no heavy breathing. Then you're probably not there. Specifically, if a temperature hasn't dropped down below 99.0, be careful. You've probably got to keep this dog close to you.
I got one more puppy.
One of the Frenchman puppies looks deformed. He urinates out of 2 places on a slit with a pinhole. Well, I mean, if you've got some kind of deformity in the dog, you've got to assess what's going on here. I mean, I'd get a vet involved. But remember, sometimes vets will get things wrong. For instance, I've had vets before. I've had customers who've had puppies' feet that are pointing backwards, and they've euthanized those puppies. Those puppies almost always can have their legs brought forward with taping for a few days or a week and be completely normal puppies. So, if a vet's telling you the dog needs to be put down, that could well be true. But I would get a second opinion in the form of Google or another vet to make sure that what you're being told really does make sense, because they sometimes get gung-ho to put dogs down that could have been okay. Dana Hall, audio extender arrived with a refrigerator sticker on. It's in 70-degree weather and sat outside for 2 days.
There's
okay.
our other little one. Little Sable also, but he's got some lines going up his little face.
So to answer Dana Hall's question, it's fine. It can survive quite a long time. It has nothing live in it. It doesn't go bad. But the shelf life is 2 years if it's been refrigerated, and it will be substantially less if it's not refrigerated. So you're fine. And typically, you're using this stuff up within a week to a month of you getting it. So this is not a problem. But if you've got extender and you've used it, we take the bottle, we put it into a cup of warm water to warm it up before we use it. When we finish using it, we put the whole bottle back in the fridge. Not the freezer, but the fridge. Sunny Jones, I have a female heat. Today is day 12 after spot starting. She'd be much more aggressive than her first heat. How much longer do I need to keep her away from my male? Well, you need to keep her away from all males except for the AI. You need to keep her away from all males from the moment you see blood until you're at least 3 weeks past that point. If you don't, you're likely to get a dog bred unintentionally. And JF says, to answer that question, depends on whether you want puppies or not. Well, that's also true.
I didn't hear
yes,
what it was.
Mr. Colleen says, hey, thank you very much for answering my text and phone calls, James. Really appreciate it. I called, got a female that had an open pyometria. Yes. Oh, that's what she called about, was an open pyometria. Yes. So that's a whole other issue here. Open pyometrias can be treated with amoxicillin. A lot of those dogs, even if they're pregnant, can survive that. And I think we're about done here. GNC Master says the babies are adorable. Thank you very much.
Does Cody still have babies?
I think he might.
Okay. So you can call Cody for full fluffy or fluffy carriers at 806-664-0173. If there's not an answer, please leave a message and send a text, and he will definitely get back to you ASAP. And then, of course, me, for my babies, you can call 580-799-1910.
And one last question I'm going to answer here. Spider Cove says,
and we all FaceTime.
My Mastiff is on, my dog's on day 59 with a temperature of 100. How often should we be checking? We're in every 3 hours. That's probably fine. I mean, so, when you get to the point where she's really starting to show some signs, maybe panting, nesting, I'm going to hang around. I'm not leaving at that point, because, I want to, if I see any signs of contractions, it's off to the vet. We're not hanging around. Okay, so hey, congratulations to all your mums for getting through life with raising kids and not having to kill them all.
I don't know how you lived.
Oh, I mean, my mother, she was a saint. I mean, yeah, you'd have killed me. You'd have killed me anyway. But anyway, thanks for watching. We really appreciate those people who gave us a thumbs up. That's nice. Thank you very much. And we had a pretty good group of people watching today, which is great. So people are now starting to drop off because we know we're fixing to go. And be nice to your babies. Bye. Have a good time.
Happy Mama's Day.
That's right. Bye, buddy.
And every day. Bye.